What if Nezuko, the anime waifu we all love, was tragically killed by Muzan in the first episode? Would Tanjiro be dead? Would he even become a demon slayer? And above all, who would be Zenitsu's crush if this happened? To answer your question, I found 3 interesting theories. The course of events in all of these theories are different, but they're mutually interesting. Right, so starting from the first theory, Tanjiro is devastated to see that all of his loved ones died while he was resting in someone's home. He's sad, he's depressed, he's mad, and when Giyu comes into the scene, Tanjiro begs for his help. He begs to join the Demon Slayers, but Giyu doesn't let him be. He doesn't see anything extraordinary in the boy, so asks him to take care of himself and leave everything in the hands of the Demon Slayers. Tanjiro is devastated for the second time because his appeal was turned down by Giyu. After that, he goes for a stroll and encounters the Temple Demon. Tanjiro already wants to die, and so without putting up much of a fight, his wish comes true. That was sad, but at least he didn't get devastated for the third time with his wish remaining unfulfilled. R.I.P. Tanjiro. Without this sun-breathing candidate ever shining, the Demon Slayer's corpse again loses to the demons. Perhaps 1,000 years from now, some other generation might take down Muzan, but it's just not possible here. With Tanjiro's death, the anime ends in just 2 episodes. If you found this theory discouraging and bad, well then the feeling is mutual. But wait, that was just one among 3 theories, and theory number 2 is where it gets more interesting. In this theory, Tanjiro asked 2 of his siblings to tag along on his business journey to the city. The coal was too much for him to carry alone, so his siblings helped him. Preferably it's Hanako, Tanjiro's other sister, and Takeo, his younger brother. After completing the business of work, they all stay at the house of the stranger for the night. In the morning when they get home, the siblings are collectively devastated to see their dead family. Tanjiro, being the elder brother, is a bit calm. He gives hope to Hanako and Takeo. Soon, Giyu comes into the scene, and seeing Tanjiro's dedication to protecting his family, asks him to join the Demon Slayer Corps. Tanjiro does so, on the condition that his siblings would be protected by the Demon Slayers. So instead of going to Sakonji Urokodaki, Tanjiro goes to the central hub of the Demon Slayer Corps headquarters. From there, he's taught by Jigoro, the same man who taught Zenitsu. Zenitsu and Tanjiro become dear friends earlier in the story, and later Inosuke completes the trio. The story continues as usual. Zenitsu falls in love with Hanako-chan rather than Nezuko. I know she's too little, but don't say Zenitsu is a pedophile. In this timeline, Zenitsu was a bit younger too, so his love with Hanako is justified. However, he's thrashed by Takeo every time he tries to flirt with Hanako. The main storyline continues in about the same order. Tengen, however, makes an exception and dies, unfortunately. Apart from him, the story is much similar to the original one. Zenitsu might be younger, but he displays the same potential. The ending is also about the same. Mitsuri, Obanai, Muichiro, and Shiobu die in the final battle. But to lighten things up, Zenitsu manages to persuade Tanjiro and marries his sister. That's a relief considering all the deaths. That was the second theory, and we still have the last and most interesting theory remaining. In this last theory, when Tanjiro returns home, he's grief-stricken to see all of his siblings' corpses covered in blood. Remember, there's no Nezuko in this timeline, and consequently, Tanjiro finds no solace. In the original timeline, Nezuko gave Tanjiro a purpose. She was alive, but as a demon, and that was the driving force behind Tanjiro's motives for becoming a demon slayer. He wanted to find a cure to turn his sister back, but now that motivation is off the list. Tanjiro mopes. He covers himself in mud. He cries and yells out loud and punches himself. He's regretful because he, as the older brother, was unable to protect his family. After crying out loud in utter loneliness, Giyu approaches him. He has assessed the situation, and he already knows about Tanjiro's dead family. Giyu tries to calm Tanjiro down, but Tanjiro has become rather unforgiving and rage-blind here. He's unforgiving and he blames Giyu for killing his family. He even attacks him and catches him off guard. But Giyu is on a whole other level at this point of the story. He throws some punches at Tanjiro, but his dedication to fight impresses him. Tanjiro gets knocked down by Giyu's punches, and when consciousness returns, he finds Giyu attending to his wounds. Tanjiro has the same attitude toward Giyu, but at least he willingly listens to him. After getting to know about the demons and the Demon Slayer Corps, Tanjiro begs Giyu to let him join. The driving force here is revenge. Tanjiro wishes to see the demise of Muzan, and he works hard to achieve his motive. We see Tanjiro progressing rapidly in this timeline. He's not charming or friendly like in the original story. Tanjiro Kamado is primarily taught by Sakonji Urokodaki, a former Demon Slayer Corps member. Tanjiro initially undergoes intense training under Urokodaki to become a skilled demon slayer and learn the ways of the water-breathing technique. Urokodaki plays a crucial role in Tanjiro's early development as a demon slayer and imparts valuable skills and knowledge to him. A quicker development marks a shift from the original timeline. Tanjiro, at the point of the selection test, shows off more potential. He encounters many demons and slices their heads instantly, but he doesn't wait to pray for the fallen demons. Revenge is the sole purpose, and Tanjiro wants every demon beheaded. The hand demon gives him a bit of a challenge, but he falls at the hands of Tanjiro. The story goes much like the original timeline. The encounter with Zenitsu and Inosuke takes place at the same mansion, but Tanjiro shows off a strict and rude personality here. Nevertheless, they kill the demons of the mansion and return back. After that, they're sent to Natagumo Mountain, where Tanjiro eventually encounters Rui, the lower rank of the 12 Kizuki. However, there is no Nezuko here to aid Tanjiro in the battle. Hence, the battle appears to be more challenging, and Tanjiro gets brutally injured. At this point, Giyu comes, kills the demon, and saves dear Tanjiro. There's another major shift from the original timeline, as Nezuko is absent. Shinobu, the insect Hashira, doesn't run after Nezuko, and consequently, the short meeting of Tanjiro with all the Hashiras never happens. After Tanjiro has effectively healed his wounds, Tanjiro accompanies Tengen in the Entertainment District arc. Tengen makes him put on the feminine appearance, and they track down the Upper Moon 6. Tanjiro manages to hold him off for longer during his solo encounter against Daki. He even beheads her just to see his brother Gyutaro coming out of her. Gyutaro is too much for him to handle alone, and he nearly falls victim to Gyutaro's spinning axes. But thankfully Tengen is there to save the day. After a long and decisive battle against the Upper Moon, the Demon Slayers win, but at the cost of Tengen's life. Since we now know Tengen was poisoned by Gyutaro's spinning axes, there's no Nezuko to heal his wounds. I'll miss the flashy Hashira. Never mind, he goes out with a flashy funeral. He dies here, but at least we can do this much to honor him with a flashy exit. Coming back to the story, we now have the Mugen train arc. Tanjiro is much more capable now, but due to Nezuko's absence, there are more casualties. Eventually, Enmu dies in the hands of Tanjiro, and Upper Moon 3 enters the scene. Rengoku asks the Junior Slayers to back off, but Tanjiro has the potential and the courage to fight, so he disobeys Rengoku and joins the battle. Akaza throws a punch at Rengoku, but Tanjiro deflects it just in time. In the original timeline, this punch led to the donut meme. Oh, sorry, I mean a hole in Rengoku. Since that unfortunate moment is absent in this timeline, Rengoku doesn't die and continues to give his services to the Demon Slayer Corps. The Swordsmith Village arc goes just like the original timeline. Tanjiro manages to take down Hatengu a bit quicker. Tanjiro has perfected his sun-breathing story at this point. Meanwhile, Goku is taken down by Muichiro. Muzan never gets the news of Nezuko conquering the sun. But either way, he's infuriated to see his upper moons getting killed in such a short period of time, so he still intends for the all-out attack against the Demon Slayer Corps. During the Hashira training arc, Muzan makes the preparations. He fills the missing upper moons with new demons. When the preparations are finally complete, the big showdown takes place. The final battle of the Demon Slayers against the demons is just as fierce. There are casualties. Rengoku dies at this point of the story, but manages to save Mitsuri and Obanai. Both of these Hashiras confess their love to each other and continue to live a happy life. They have a baby boy and name it Rengoku to honor the sacrifice the Flame Hashira made. Since Tanjiro fought all his life for this final arc, he saves the other Hashiras from dying. Muichiro and Shinobu continue to live, but Tanjiro dies in this arc. He sustained a lot of injuries protecting his comrades. He may get a bit hard from the outside in this timeline, but on the inside, he's still a softie. During the final moments of his life, Tanjiro sees his family. Tears start to fall down from his eyes as he apologizes for his rude behavior, and then he meets with his family in heaven. Quite a dramatic ending. I really hope Tanjiro rests in peace here. In some alternate timeline, Tanjiro might turn evil and join the demons, but that's perhaps the topic of some other video. In the meantime, you can check out other cool anime videos that appear on your screen. Click on it to see. Go on, click it.